The Power by Naomi Alderman. Categorized speculative, political, historical. Written by female gendered human Naomi Alderman, ironical surname. Some could be forgiven for seeing this Wyndham-esque novel as a feminist fantasy. That would, however, be a total misunderstanding. This book is called The Power, after all, and not The Women. Although the story appears to offer no solution to humanity's dualistic approach to existence, a curse from which there appears truly to be no escape, nevertheless it does dramatise accurately the problem, which is a start, I guess. And you wonder why you cannot solve the Fermi paradox, my little either-or chimpanzees. Like triffids appearing from outer space, The Power investigates the inevitable results of dramatic change upon humanity, with the emphasis on the manity. After the aptly named Day of the Girls, female teenagers begin to discover that they have electric eel-like powers and can use those to immobilize, dominate, heal, influence, rape, and even to kill unwilling males and some females of the species. They emerge and spread like flying ants, almost all of them on the same day. Nobody can explain the appearance of the skein, the latent physical adaptation with which they generate electrical power, in women born after World War II. Nevertheless, various scientific and conspiratorial theories emerge, putting it down to nerve gas pollution, witchcraft, or even a mystery virus. Centuries of male power is thus swept aside in a few short years. The power spreads across the world, and ultimately a cataclysm resets history. This time the females take the lead, and large-scale male genocide results. A menocide, perhaps. Thus, at the time of the telling, 5,000 years from now, all male accomplishment has been erased. Though a few men are retained for procreational, recreational, and perhaps educational reasons. This conceit of female domination is maintained by the suggestion that even this novel is published in a female name to steal the male writer's glory, as well as to maintain control of the narrative. How Trumpian.
The federal government has absolute power. It has the power. As to whether or not I'll use that power, we'll see.
Through hindsight, the book weaves several central points of view. That of Margot, an ambitious and rising American female politician. Roxy, the immensely electrically strong but ultimately flawed daughter of a London gangster. Tunde, a young Nigerian male who documents the worldwide change via various media, both mainstream and social. And Ali, a brutalised teenage girl who kills her captor and becomes revered as a deity, Mother Eve. There is also the story of Jocelyn, Margot's daughter, whose ill fate it is to be close to one of the rising stars of this post-masculine world. From these 5 perspectives, and very briefly via Roxy's brother, at his demise, we witness the changing of the gender guard from male to female domination. A wheel revolving through 180 degrees, but which, throughout and ultimately, remains a wheel. The writing sparkles like the arcs of lightning generated by the women themselves, swapping from location to location, character to character in a flash. The book is interspersed with pseudo-archaeological research via pictures and diagrams, which catalogue the few fragments of male culture to make it through to that future present. Most of it, in true Nietzschean style, has been acquired and repurposed by the female paradigm. The action is often brutal. No punches are pulled in this dramatisation of a revolution. It is, after all, written by one of the defeated long after they cease to matter. In the account, both men and women suffer at the hands of the warring factions. Both are herded into camps, murdered in mass executions, and made to fall in line. As always, the poorest and most vulnerable people fight not for dominance, but for simple survival. They do not fare well. There is one small nod towards non-genderized freedom. One of very few males develops a skein also. There is one male who violently removes a skein from his sister and has it transplanted. There are also some females who wish they had not developed this electrical ability. But, as so often, the author appears to imply, people obsess about gender in an either-or fashion, one thing or another. None of these characters can become consequential in a two-gender reality. We of other worlds naturally know the truth. There are literally thousands of modes of existence, far more things beyond heaven and earth than can be dreamt up in your limited imaginations, young apelings. But perhaps, well maybe, perhaps Miss Alderman has sensed such a possibility. If only humans and womans could escape their need to control, to dominate, to suppress, well maybe, perhaps, if one could have Falstaff and have him, or her, thin. However you organise yourselves, religion, gender, tribe, you remain the same. Same old comically human race. Winners and losers all. The Power by Naomi Alderman. Exceptional and highly recommended.